like Miami or a heat wave. Bounce back when they tell you no. Debate your greatness and flair and let them enjoy the show.
The summariser for Team Blue, and her name is Samantha. She's going to summarise the debate of does religion cause more harm than good? And please welcome her to the stage. Her name is Samantha. Actually, just before you welcome her, one bit of uniqueness here is that Samantha, her boyfriend is David. So if David wins, David's sleeping on the couch tonight. So please welcome Samantha to the stage. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to use your imaginations now. I want you to imagine a world where religion just never really happened. We're not talking about getting rid of religion. We're just saying that religion didn't catch on for whatever reason. People didn't think it was realistic, or the founders of the religions just, didn't catch on in the way that they have done. And for some reason, the modern world does not have the religious groups in it that the world we live in now does. And the question I want to ask you is, which world is better? The one where religion never happened, or the one that we live in now? And we, on the Blue team, firmly believe that the world we live in now is considerably better than the one where religion didn't quite catch on. And we got 3 reasons for that. And the first one is that in a world where religion didn't happen, we think there's considerably less good being done. We think that religion gives people an enormous motivation to do good to the people around them and the people that they share the world with. And the motivation comes from the knowledge that if you do this, you will be rewarded not just in this life, but in a life beyond. And we think that's a bigger motivation than any sort of non-religious moral code can give you to do good. I just want to remind you that across the world, the first schools, the first hospitals, the first charities were all set up by religious groups because they had this strong religious moral conviction that they had a duty to help out people who were worse off. And we still see that today. We see that charitable giving and looking after the people around you are fundamental parts of pretty much every major religion going. And that's an enormously positive thing, and we think that that's something you lose, and it'd be a terrible thing to lose from the world if religion never happened. And the second point that I want to look at today is we think that individual people would be worse off if they didn't have religion. Religion gives people an amazing sense of self and of comfort that life is going to go all right. We think that religion gives you the ability to get through difficult situations in a way that nothing else really does. I think that when you have, terrible things happen in the world, and the ability to know that you've got God on your side and to know that there is a plan and that it will work out well is something that helps people to get through some of the absolutely horrific situations that they do find themselves in. And we think without religion, again, that's something that we lose. We lose the ability to fall back on our faith and to say, we know that this is going to be better. I know I'm going to get through this. And that's something that you lose if you've never had religion. And then the final point I wanted to talk about today is I'm going to address some of the issues with religion that the Red team brought up. Because they quite rightly pointed out that religion has been known to be a justification for conflict. It's known that that churches and mosques and synagogues have had corruption within them and have caused bad things to happen. But the way that I look at this is that people like to belong to groups. And if no religion had ever caught on, we think that every person would still find themselves a group that they wanted to associate with. I mean, who in here doesn't have at least 15 different groups that they associate with? You've got everything. You've got from the big things, from your nationality to your faith to your racial group to whatever it might be. It goes all the way down to the tiny little silly things. I mean, you might associate with somebody because they've got the same hair colour as you. You might associate with them because they like the same bands that you like. It doesn't matter. We like to form little groups based around things that we have in common with other people. And there are people in society who like to take their membership of this group and use it as an excuse to cause conflict with somebody else in another group, right? This is what's happened. This is how religious conflicts have happened, right? People use their membership of the group, their belief that their group is the best one to be in, and they use that as a reason to promote conflicts and to make conflicts happen. On the Blue team, we firmly believe that that would happen were there to be no religion, because there's so many other groupings
1 minute to go.
and things to fight over that people would find themselves associated with. Similarly, we think it would be worse if there was no religion, because religions had a really great role in ending conflicts. Religious groups have given charitable aid and have promoted reconciliation programs and have done all kinds of fantastic work to stop conflict and to promote sort of interfaith harmony. And that is something that we lose, but we keep the conflict. So in the world without religion, in the world where religion didn't happen, what we have is less good, we have less charitable giving, we have less looking out for each other. We have, less satisfied individuals because they don't have the faith inside them to know that they can get through life and they know that they can enjoy and be satisfied in their life. And we also have the same amount of conflict, but less organisations working to get rid of them. So we believe that religion has done more good for the world, and we're proud to argue in favour of it. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to summarize this debate along two major arguments. I'm going to talk to you about what would have happened if history actually hadn't had religion, which is direct response to Sami's arguments. And secondly, I'm going to bring you some distinct harms that come from religion as we know it. And a lot of this is also going to be rebuttal integrated, right? But primarily, what do we tell you on our side of the house? We tell you that faith is personal, that spirituality is personal, and we don't have a problem with that. We tell you that religion is a very unique form of organizing this faith, where you have certain individuals who are at the helm, who say that we are the voice of God, for instance, or that we can communicate God's message to you. And we tell you that that's the problem, and the harms of that particular form of organized religion is what we bring to you in our side of the house. So Sami tells you that there would have been lesser charity. Now here is the problem, right, ladies and gentlemen. If we are willing to accept that some people are inherently evil and will do evil things even without religion, we also, by the same token, have to accept that some people are inherently good and will be able to do inherently good things even without religion. That is what we tell you. Secondly, we also hear that religion, for instance, has been responsible for ending conflicts. We tell you that a lot of these conflicts have been caused by religion in the first place, or even if not by religion per se, by the way individuals have manipulated religion or the way individuals have said wrong things about religion. Now, and this is what brings me to the unique harms that we see, religion as having in modern society, right? So what does David tell you? David tells you that there is a very different sort of system of rationality that we apply when we are when being critical about bad things that are outside the religious framework and things that are bad within the religious framework. Why is this, ladies and gentlemen? Because, ladies and gentlemen, if the Pope says something, you cannot criticize him, because you're not just criticizing the Pope, you're criticizing the message of God, right? And we think that is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. We think that there is a reduction in critical engagement simply because you're not just talking about individuals who are representative of their own individual views. You're talking about individuals who are transmitting messages from a being that who we believe to be extremely powerful, who we believe is essentially unknowable. We tell you that when such individuals are placed in control of such tremendous amounts of knowledge, the likelihood that they're going to exploit that knowledge and the harms that come from that exploitation of that knowledge are further increased. Secondly, so, for example, within this point, look at the way, let's say look at the way discussion around the U.S. support of Israel is limited within public consciousness, right? This is because this is a support that is mediated primarily on religious ground. This shuts out, for instance, people engaging in conversation with it in a rational fashion. But secondly, we also tell you that there is a very unique problem in the way we understand religious justification, right? Now, the reason. The point is that religion is a very specific sort of set of, let's say, rules or beliefs or scriptures or sort of doctrines, for instance, that tell you what is right and what is wrong. So essentially, you derive your sense of morality, you derive your sense of ethics from this religious institution, or from a religious institution, right? What happens when that religious institution itself engages in something that's harmful, that itself engages in something that is wrong? We tell you that any problems that you then have are further increased, are further exacerbated. This is why it is a problem when religious when individuals manipulate religious rhetoric to sort of, let's say, start religious conflicts, for instance, or when they use it to segregate one individual from another, as James brings you in his story, we tell you that this is a very specific problem. We also tell you, when we look at history, for instance, that religious rhetoric has been used to justify colonization, and that is the problem. We tell you that religious, so for example, during the Dark Ages, for instance, there was a problem because of the way the church monopolized its control over knowledge. And we say that this is what happens when you have an institution that tells you what you're doing is right and what you're doing is wrong, and then that is an institution that practices these wrong things, right? So that practices, that for instance, actively will go out there and say contraception is bad, for instance, or that if you're homosexual, that is something, you're doing something that is against the will of God. We tell you that this is what segregates individual, which is what James brings you, right? This tells you that you're different, that if you're gay and if you're Christian, those two things are not compatible. We tell you that that there is a problem when you say, when for instance, individuals, even if that is not what religion itself is saying, we tell you that the impact that the religion has is based on what people are saying about it. So when people use religious rhetoric to say women should be oppressed, for instance, or a certain minority is a bad kind of minority, we tell you that that is the real impact in this world. Because that is the real impact in this world, and for all the reasons we bring to you, we believe religion has done more harm than good.
Right, so just before we get all the points and decide who's won, we'd like to go to the judges for the last time, just to get a good impression as to how they felt the summarizer round was delivered. So we'll start with Ramon, please. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, with the blue team, I thought that the presenter was very organized in her thinking. She flowed very smoothly, and she delivered quite well. She hit on the imaginary world, and we live in a real world, so it's difficult to really make that tangible in terms of facts and in terms of thinking, but I understand where you're going with that. But at the same time, in a debate, it's difficult to justify the imagination versus fact. So,
thank you very much, Ramon. Katie? Very controversial, Ramon. Very controversial. Katie?
Kind of lost without my notes, actually, just giving them in. Samantha, isn't it? Yeah. I think you've got a really, really calm manner when you stand up there, and you're quite animated, eloquently spoken. You're interesting to watch and listen to, and you managed certainly to keep my attention. What stood out for me was you were clear in your structure, where you were going, the first point, the second point, and we all followed the thread of your argument through, so it's very clear and very concise. In terms of sticking to the question, I'm not entirely sure what the format should be, but does religion do more harm than good? I kind of feel that both sides maybe deviated slightly from that, and you could have woven that back in, considering it's a summarising that you were doing. But all in all, I really enjoyed your speech.
Thank you very much. Travis G.
Yeah, I thought it was a very well-rounded piece. I thought it was more personal than, say, statistic heavy, although you had a lot of information, it was well-researched, but it was more from you, kind of, again, like Roman saying, it was this imaginary world. And, the way you got it across, I was able to visualize, I was able to imagine certain scenarios not taking place that we've kind of grown to rely on nowadays. For example, charities being started and kind of being involved in the resolution of a war, for example. So, on that percent, I really was with you, but again, there is a debate and a level of information kind of, I don't know, I just felt like it was slightly compromised. Yeah.
Thank you, Travis. Please, number one round of applause for Samantha. I think she delivered a really good summary. Then we're going to go to Shrishti, so Mr. Davies.
I think that she came out swinging. She definitely threw some tough blows, some strong rebuttal, especially the point that she made that, religion helps to end conflict when, in fact, a lot of wars are started based on religion and religious beliefs. But yeah, nothing too much more to say. She was very impactful. She delivered strong. She hit a home run, in my opinion. I have nothing else to say but positive things. Yeah,
that's a broad smile on Shriti's face. Katie, please.
I have a sneaky suspicion that David was aware of Samantha's arguments, and they were formulating their argument to respond directly. Yeah, I'm not sure if he will be, not on the sofa, but I think, Shrifty, that you speak with real conviction and you speak with real passion, and that really came across. You're very articulate, very eloquent. The vocabulary that you were using, my mind was blown with the facts that you were coming out of. You'd clearly researched your topic really well. The only thing I would say, you do talk very fast. And it's a lot of information, maybe zoning in on maybe less points and giving the audience a little bit of time to digest what you're saying, because what you're saying was actually really, really well considered and really excellently expressed for the most part. So well done.
Katie, Travis?
I would say it was a great speech. Great speech. Again, I would refer to it as a home run. The only kind of thing I kind of have a criticism was the fact that you said that a lot of the wars were started by religion. When Ade pointed out in his earlier speech that 7% of wars were started by religion, or kind of like championed by religion or religious causes. So it kind of made me feel like maybe that was a little bit off the mark, depending on who's right. But all in all, great speech.
It's a very good spot, Travis. I'm impressed. Cheers. Thank you. Right. While Travis goes off to get prepared for his performance, what we're going to do is we're going to bring it to the audience. Now, you've heard the judges critique Shrishti and Samantha. I just want to get an opinion or two from the audience, please, on how you felt they delivered their argument, and if in fact you believed it. So, anyone, Suraj, do you want to comment on? Do you think that they incorporated your point that you made earlier?
No, it was really good. They were both really good. There was a lot of information. I felt like I was kind of sitting back in my seat a little bit to kind of take it all in. But your most kind of eloquent point, Sammy, was about the groups, and that actually made up my mind that I didn't agree with you. But it was really well delivered, because it kind of made me, and that was more like you said about people's hair colour or people's political ideology. I don't mind that so much, because they're all real things. So someone may think socialism's right, capitalism, that's fine. But when someone thinks something's right based on something nobody can prove, that's when I start getting a little bit kind of a bit edgy. So it was a really good point, but it kind of worked against you in my head.
Thank you, Suraj. We expect you to be on the stage next month, yeah? Definitely.
I just think, sorry, what's your name, lady? Sorry? Tristy. I just think, Shristi, I think she was more clear out of her team about the fact that they're not against God or anything like that, that they're just against the standpoint of religion as an institutionalization apart from them. I think they was leaning in, for me personally, in the lead apart until Shristi gave her speech, and without actually saying it, she made it clear of their standpoint as opposed to the others. That's all.
Can we get a round of applause, please? That was obviously you were listening to the debate, so that's pretty good. That's interesting. So Shrishti has basically potentially won it for her team. I want to get an opinion from a gentleman that I respect a lot in the debating world.
I thought they were both really, really good. I liked kind of the clarity that Sam had. I mean, that was really impactful for me, because she did just what the judges were saying, which was zone in on those key ideas and hit them and keep hitting them and make sure everybody in the audience had an understanding of them and had access to them. With Srishti, it was like a wall of information, and I think there was something in there for everybody. So even if one or two of her points you didn't pick up on, just as we heard when everybody was coming back to them, there were other points in there that were important for people. So there's something for every possible viewpoint in the audience. I'd have real difficulty choosing between them.
Sitting on the fence there. Alex, thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to get Judith to bring up the gold envelope. That gold envelope cost a lot of money, by the way, guys. So it's quite precious. And in this envelope, we have the winner, Team Blue or Team Red. I really hope, for David's sake, Team Blue win. But like I said, the winning team will get to enjoy a free meal over at Thai and Lao, which is a box park across the road, at their pleasure, or at their leisure, sorry, should I say. Right, so apparently there were only 10 points between the teams, and the winning team is the red team. So round of applause for the red team, please. Thank you. Thank you. Why do you think the red team deserve to win?
I think that they hit a few points that I agree with, in the sense that religion breeds a lot of separation and confusion. Like, I think the fundamentals of all religions are pretty much the same, where you know, you think you believe in something higher. You've got that a loving God who cares for you. You have that belief that guides you in your life. But I don't think that is necessarily religion. I think that can be seen as spirituality. The religion is the politics behind it. You know, if you don't do this way, then you go to hell, or if you don't do this way, then, you know, the fundamentals of religion is what I believe spirituality is, the same thing. And the lady said before, sorry, what was your name? So yeah, Samantha said before that in a world without religion, there would be a lot more bad people. And I don't believe that that's necessarily the case, because you can have spirituality without religion, you know, and if you've got a religion telling you this is right, and you've got another religion telling you this is right, then you're going to have that separation, you're going to have that conflict. Whereas the spirituality part of religion is all the same for all religions all around. So you still have that love, and you still have that God that you believe in and that you care in. You're still going to do the good that you would do, even if there wasn't the beliefs around the religion behind it. So personally, that's what I think.
Thank you for that input there. Appreciate it. Okay. While we're preparing the certificates for the winning team and the losing team, by the way, well done, guys. It's a brilliant effort. Well done to you guys as well. Before I go on to Travis J and get him to perform for us for the last performance, if any of you are interested in coming up to deliver a debate, please do so. Our email address is events@theflairdebateshow.co.uk. So feel free to come up and deliver your... We've got some really appetizing debates coming up for the next few shows, so please feel free. Right, so I'm going to introduce a good friend of mine. I'm actually some of his entourage at the back, Ola and Cole. Oh, sorry, Babatunde and Cole. I'm actually trying to get into their team, the funny team. I don't believe I'm funny, but I'm sure I could deliver a couple of things in their squad. Travis J, very funny guy. I know you're going to enjoy him. Please welcome him to the stage. Thank you.
What's going on, everyone? Give me that sound. Let me get that sound. Yeah, appreciate that. First thing, guys. Yeah, do you wanna? I don't know. I just want to do this by myself. Is that all right? Guys, let's get off. Yeah. Nah, I don't know. It's not a team sport. I just kind of want to put no pressure. I mean, no. Appreciate. Earlier was sick. You guys did your thing. I'm just saying. Just want to clear it up. Don't know. Some things need to be said. That's all. Yeah, I mean, and it's like what's funny, right? Is that I know now. It's not magic that keeps the lights on. Like, seriously, someone actually pays for the lights on at your house. Mad. I didn't know my dad was so stressed. Are you crazy? Now I'm worse than he is. You understand? You know when you get in something like, you get in someone's car, end of the journey, they're like, yo, bruv, can you get some of that petrol money? When you come around my yard, as you leave, I'll be like, yo, cuz, you got that light money? Because true say we was all enjoying the lights just now. You understand? If you wasn't here, probably wouldn't have had the lights on, big man. You know what I mean? A man would try to get smart and be like, fam, you said you was reading. Yeah, I was reading. By the window, cuz. Like, just conserving. Don't piss me off. It's mad. It's mad. There's my little girl's sports day a little while ago, right? And what was stupid? No, don't it's dumb. They're 2 years old. Why they got a sports day? It was unnecessary. They're forcing it. Don't piss me off. Listen. So I go here, I'm thinking to myself, right, let's go there, let's clean up, you understand? We're the only black kids. She's the only black girl in the whole flipping that little age group. So we're going there, I'm expecting her to dominate the race. But she's young, she's shy, she's not really ready for the whole people watching thing. She comes out, as soon as they say, go, she starts crying, holding on to the teacher. Everyone around is like, oh my gosh, she's so sweet. Tapping me. I'm just like, come on, man! Don't piss me, come on, you just gonna let this little done beat you, yeah? Is that what you're gonna do? Think about the brand I built, let's go, come on. Couldn't take it, you understand? I ran up, kicked the race, just sweep my man down. Made a fool of myself, man. Now I can't even pick her up. Just saying, man. Yeah, I mean, we don't lose in my house. On the way home, I'm letting her know, you disappointed me today. I sound like such a bad parent, right? Madness, man. Madness. You know what's really funny, right? Like, comedy's going really well for me at the moment. You know, the host mentioned Funny Team, that's a project I'm working on with Barberton at the back and emulate us over there, the production. Yeah, you know, our sketches. Anybody even has seen any of our sketches online? I don't know, obviously, what, yeah, or what, nah, yeah, or what. Sorry, the stupid.
Yeah, so basically, you know, things are going really well. I'm starting to get recognized more. And I'm not too sure I'm enjoying it. Like, I like it when it's girls. When girls see you, they show so much love. Oh my gosh, you're the guy from the video. I saw you showing. Like, really funny. Give you a hug. It's calm. But with guys, I don't really know how much I trust it. You see, guys have very hard set faces. You can't always read them from a distance. You see this? Hey, yo, fam, that's that guy from the video, isn't it? Yeah, he's funny. Hey, let's go tell him we think he's funny. All right, fam, come on. Looks exactly like this. Hey, yo, fam, you know this brother? No. What, yeah? You want to jack him? Yeah. All right, come on, say no. Now go on. That looks exactly the same to me. I ain't got time to decipher what that means. I scared the life out of this one guy in Westfield. I'm sitting down on my phone, just chilling, waiting for someone. And this guy comes and stands like, too close. Like, it was too close by any standard. Way too close. But I got up like war was about to start. I'm chilling on my phone. Mama got up. I was like, what? Yeah, what? What are you saying, big man? Everything calm? Yeah, everything good? Yeah, calm? Yeah, what? Yeah. And he was just like, no, hey, no, because remember, you're jump off. Yeah, jump off. You did a video for jump off. You know when you just feel so bad? I was like, oh, fam, you know what? Follow me, I'll follow you back. Yeah, like I'm not at that stage where I got real money to give someone, innit? So I can just be like, yo, all right, I'll give you that follow back if that means. Man, that joke should have been funnier. You know, no one's there where you believe that there's gonna be some payback. I made it up just now and I thought it would work. Calm, don't worry about it. It's cool. Being honest, you understand, like a family right now. Yeah, I do shows up and down the country, right? Up and down the country, different venues all the time. And it's been a while since recent years, like since I've been lost. I forgot there's lost etiquette you're supposed to have. Like as a young black guy, you're only supposed to ask white people for directions. And this has nothing to do with racism. We just use different landmarks to guide each other around. Like I went up to this white guy, I was like, excuse me, how do I get to the nearest train station? My mum was like, wow, what is the best way? Then he starts looking around like he doesn't know where he is. Mum was like, wow. Okay, what you're gonna do, follow this road to the end. You should see the crown and scepter on your left-hand side. Take a right, you'll see the king's head. Cross over at the zebra crossing. Freemasons arms there, train station right behind. I'll see you later, I must go. I'm thinking to myself, pub names? I've got pubs in my area I don't even call by name. It's just that dark green part of the street with a karaoke sign outside every once in a while. So I went up to this black guy, I was like, excuse me, bro, how do I get to the nearest train station? Without hesitating, follow this road to the end, police station on your left-hand side. Take the right, you're gonna see the Nando's, cross over. The zebra crossing, the Mayor's Fried Chicken is just there, train station's right behind. That big man? Blessed, yeah? Come on. Chicken and police is how we navigate. But listen, I'm Travis J. That's been my time. Have a good night.
Bring the heat like Miami or a heat wave. Bounce back when they tell you no. Debate your greatness and flair and let them enjoy the show. I'm always the first to step away when it's on or when it goes down. When it goes down. Even though I have it in me to change my life from a merry-go-round.